Hello everyone, welcome back to a brand new episode of Are F1 Tracks Faster or Slower When Driven in Reverse Part 3. That's it, part 3. This episode will be around the Netherlands, Zandvoort, and also Spain, Barcelona. A couple of tracks actually that I'm really interested to try and reverse. Netherlands could change the track quite a lot because there's quite a lot of interesting curbs. Spain, I think there's quite a few corners that I'm really interested to see how we get on going that fast. Let's get started then with the very first lap around Netherlands, Zandvoort, backwards. Here we go then, this is the first track, this is Zandvoort, driven backwards. So first turn, actually that feels quite nice, a lot of camber on the mid part of that corner, quite nice, opening DRS quite early, but it will probably shut on us before we get to the very high speed bank turn. Now will this bank turn be flat? It's a pretty tight, flat, it's okay, because of the banking I think we're okay. Braking, I don't know about that, probably a bit slow through that one. You ended up off the track. And okay, so this is where it gets interesting, because these curbs I thought might be a bit savaging backwards, but actually this is not too bad. So far, I prefer this track backwards. So far, it's a better track. I don't love Zandvoort forwards. This one, oh yeah, tightens on the exit. Corners are tight on the exit are never nice. Going to set down to third gear. Missed my apex completely, but that's good. It's my first lap. This next one flat. Maybe with a nice line. Maybe with a nice line. Is this next one flat? No, no, it is not. No, it really is not. My word. Okay. Oh, that's not the way to go. That almost tricked me there. This section will be flat until we get to... Now, this is going to be interesting because it comes up when you fast, I was about to say, and then I almost completely outbrake myself. Oh, God. A bit of off-camber there on the exit. That's probably flat with a nice line. And we're already at the first/last corner, which we know is quite nice, actually, because of the bit of camber we get. And there we go. So that's my first lap around Zandvoort. Let's now skip ahead to my sweaty best lap around Zandvoort versus the forwards lap. Here we go then, this is my best reverse lap around the circuit of Zandvoort. In the top left you will have my best forwards lap, but played in reverse. We can kind of keep a rough track of whereabouts we are and see which one is going to be faster. So coming to what is now the first turn, nice and easy flat with the banking. Getting it out to the outside, breaking it down to fourth gear, trying to avoid the inside curb. Done that quite nicely, used all of the track and a little bit more on the exit. Braking just to get to the curb on the left hand side there. Take a very late apex for this one so you can fire it into the next one. Actually hit that curb a bit wrong. You either want to take a lot of that curb or none at all. I kind of was somewhere in the middle there. Did cost me a little bit of time. Braking as you get to curb on the left hand side there. Turning in very early, hug a nice tight apex. Try and bring the car over to the right hand side while getting on the power. Down to fourth gear again, trying to bring it into our apex, but it's slightly off camber through that corner. It's not a nice corner on the curb on the outside, but we just about get away with that. This corner isn't quite flat. Take a little bit of lift. You can take the curb there as you're going quite fast. This one there again, once again, big lift, and just as you get to the edge of the curb on the left hand side, back on the power and take the grass on the exits. You can get away with that. Down this straight now, going to be braking as we get to the curb on the left hand side, right down to third gear. Take quite an early apex because we want to wash out wide, because this is so off camber here. There's a real big crest and it's off camber. It's not a nice exit at all. You always get oversteer every single lap on that one. Coming into the final turn now then, again just hugging a nice tight apex up to fourth, waiting on the power, now getting hard on the power. Open DRS for the run to the line. Is it going to be faster or slower than the track in reverse? Well, it's 2 frames slower. 2 frames. It is basically nothing. They're about 1 minute 9.5 ish. Very, very similar lap times. And actually, I do think I prefer this lap in reverse. As I said in the preview, I don't love it going forward. It's not one of my favourite tracks. I think it's mainly because of the curbs, though, to be honest, in this game. But actually, in reverse, I don't know what it was. I think just a lot of the frustrating corners just weren't as bad. It was just a little bit more fun. Honestly, it was largely the same, though. You know, obviously, all the curbs are the same. You sort of avoid all the same curbs. And some of the exit curbs just aren't there, so you're on the grass instead of a curb, which actually is probably part of the reason why I found it a little bit better, because there's no nasty curbs. It is just a case of taking the grass, but obviously wouldn't be the case in real life. But anyway, then, let's get on now to Circuit Barcelona in Spain. Let's see how we get along with that one for our very first lap in reverse. Okay, here we go. My first ever lap backwards on Barcelona. The Spanish track. Okay, DRS open for the run down the start finish. Those first couple of corners felt quite nice actually, that sort of speed, but maybe it'd be a bit more tricky when I'm going high speed. Now, is this going to be flat? No, it is not really flat. That was one of the ones I wanted to know, so that chicane's a bit of an unknown. Still got dirty tyres. This one's going to be... Oh, that one's nasty. Uphill a little bit, off camber. Now, this one might be nicer. Feels longer. That one is going to be flat, probably. Bit of bump, though. Much shorter braking's over this one, of course. But it will spawn the exit. There's a little bump on the exit there that could cause me some issues. as I get up to speed, up with the gears. Now this one's not going to be flat, is it? It's down to probably 5th even. No, it's still a 6th gear corner. Getting a bit weird because you're going downhill through that one. Again here, oh god, going downhill. Far too deep, far too deep. Forgot what I was doing there. Far too deep. This is going to be a challenging circuit, I think. But actually, again, I really like this one already. I don't know if it's just because it's new content, maybe, in the F1 game. And normally I'm just racing on the same 20-odd tracks every year. But, oh god, I just quite enjoyed it. That last corner, though, wasn't great, not going to lie. Now, this corner, I'm interested to see how quick this one will be. It's normally flat in time trial, but only just. So, it's going to be... Oh, it's going to be just a lift, and then again this one here, that feels nice. I tell you what, that is a nice sequence of corners backwards. And up for the gears, across the start finish line again. Well, let's skip it now then to the sweaty lap, and see how much faster I can go than that one. Here we go then, this is my best reverse lap around Barcelona. So going through quite snaking little final section, we'll get onto that a little bit more at the end of this lap. In the top left we are going to have, as always, the reverse the forward lap played in reverse. My best forward lap played in reverse. All synced up as we cross the timing line there. Going for the first time, that isn't flat, but the actual corner itself is kind of flat. It just goes a little bit tighter on the exit. You have to just get it slowed down into the chicane, which is actually a really high-speed chicane. The first part's really high speed. The second part is very, very slow speed. That last one is a lot nicer in backwards. This one here as well is a lot nicer. It just feels less off camera. Don't know what it is. This next one as well completely gets rid of the horrible direction change where you have a bit of a kind of a bump. The tight right-hander there, largely the same, to be honest, just less of a braking zone, but largely feels the same. This one here is interesting. Going on the curb there, getting it swung down to 7th gear. Never quite managed to extract the maximum for that one. I don't know if it's the bumps or what. This one here is really fun. You can really send it here. You see I even got on the grass. I don't normally do that, but you can really send it to that. Again, no direction change in that one, which was really, really nice. Get to holding the curb there and have a nice exit. Quite easy to get the exit there. Did touch the grass there, cause a little bit of oversteer. This one is a lot worse in reverse. This one's really tricky. It's such an apex. It tightens on the exit. It's a bit of a weird one. This one here as well, normally completely flat with the right line in forwards motion, but this one you have to take a bit of a lift, get it slowed down, but it's not far off flat. I tell you what, these cars are seriously fast. This one here just carrying as much speed as you possibly can while trying to carry some sort of good line, get lots of room on the exit for the runoff. Open DRS then for the run to line, and overall, Barcelona is definitely better, but is it going to be faster or slower? It is actually quite substantially slower, about a second slower in reverse. I certainly didn't get the maximum out of the reverse lap. I did do it for about half an hour, and I hate time trials, so I was like, that's enough. That lap will do. That was good enough. But still a second's a lot of time. But I did definitely prefer it. There were, a lot of direction changes were no longer frustrating or annoying or difficult to get through. That they just weren't direction changes anymore. They were braking zones, straight line braking zones, or just flat out sections. There was only 1 or 2 corners which I thought were worse or trickier. But overall, I preferred Spain in reverse. It would never happen because, the corner that we can see ahead of us now, the fast left-hander is far too fast. And after that, the chicane is so tricky because you've only just got out of what is the first turn. Getting it all slowed down and just flying into that chicane at such high speed. It's a very different corner. Normally, it's sort of a Mickey Mouse chicane, really, and you can't really carry any speed through there. But you can really carry a lot of speed playing it in reverse. So do give it a go yourself, guys. I'm wanting to see what you guys think of the chicane in reverse. So there we go then. That was Zandvoort and Barcelona in reverse. I have to say, I slightly preferred Zandvoort. Still though, I think it's the curbs that make it not a great track. And it was actually, probably if anything, faster reverse. It was technically very, very similar time. But obviously I only did sort of 20 minutes or so in reverse, whereas I've done hours in forwards motion. So I imagine with a bit more practice, it's actually probably slightly faster in reverse, interestingly. And Barcelona, I definitely preferred that one in reverse. I don't mind it in forwards motion, the normal way, I suppose. It's an okay track. A lot of people really don't like it because it's not very good at overtaking real life. As a track to drive, I don't mind it. In reverse, though, I preferred it, and I'm starting now to think, is that just because it's a new track? It's a new layout, effectively. It's not a new layout, but it's a new driving experience, whereas I'm so used to having the same 20-odd tracks over and over again in this game. So I'm starting to think, is it just because it's new? But I did prefer it. I think a lot of the direction changes were a bit nicer. A lot of the corners were a bit more sendy. A few of the corners were worse. But overall, I did definitely prefer it, but it was a little bit slower. So anyway, guys, don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more content just like this. This is a part of a running series that I'm doing, so do subscribe if you want to see more. Also, drop a like on this video if you do enjoy this series, because I will be sure to make more of them. And I thank you for watching. Bye-bye.